It has a universal tone. It speaks to people in terms of their childhood, in terms of their adulthood, and things that they've forgotten and wish they could get back.
We have 25 disappearances, 7 confirmed deaths.
So my name is Grae, and I work with a pop culture website called CBR, where everyone is flipping out because we get all these episodes of Derry.
Yay!
Right?
Yes.
And here you two are making me potentially believe in love again.
Come on, James.
Potentially.
Come on.
Because I haven't seen all the episodes and I don't know what happened.
Okay,
Job
good,
well
good.
done.
But I really am hoping, because that's one of the things I'm finding most surprising about the series, is that we have moved on from this just being scary clown stuff.
Absolutely.
And it has so much more context now.
It has family, it has youthful romance and tragedy. In keeping with your point, and the fact that you said that is very rewarding to me, because the first thing that attracted me to the script when I read it was this child romance. That this general with 3 stars and a chest full of medals was in love with a little indigenous girl when he was 9. And she saved his life from this demon, pardon my language.
No, you can go ahead and say that. That's the only way to say it.
And with a slingshot. And now he's in charge of nuclear missiles. It all really, really weaves together very beautifully. And the fact that you said the potential for romance, that's what I wanted from the very beginning of doing this. Obviously, it chokes me up.
Yeah, and it's,
Yeah.
I'm going to try and say this it's not a spoiler. It's like you see the kids, and then you see you, and you reconnect. And there's a tragic thing in this, though.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing that took my breath away this time around was the statement of, this place makes you forget. And then it hit me like a ton of bricks. That's what this has been about the whole time. That's what this has been about, is how horrible it is when you forget.
That's right.
And I mean, your character, even as a small child, seems to know this already. Has a
Yes.
deep sense of knowing.
You're correct. Rose knows.
Rose knows.
Rose knows.
How does it come into play? I mean, is she just leagues smarter than everybody else around there?
I wouldn't say smarter, but she carries more knowledge.
Okay, that is a great way to say that.
And within that knowledge is a great responsibility. So that she's constantly walking with a lot of this pressure, but also what is undergirding that pressure is love for the community, love for the land,
And
love.
respect.
And I mean Derry itself, not just her indigenous community that lives outside of Derry. So yes, the respect, and she still carries a lot of love for young Francis. James brought up beautifully earlier.
How could you not?
How could you not?
Come on.
And
He was a cute kid that played
he's a
me.
cute kid. And he said quite rightly it would have been a Romeo and Juliet relationship. Both folks would have had, both of their people would have had a lot of issues.
Yes, and the love was always unrequited and tragic, and they were very, very young.
First love.
But Rose never left Derry, and when you leave Derry is when the memories leave you. And Mike from who stayed in through it, was the connecting tissue for that generation. He never forgot. He kept remembering. He kept struggling to remember.
The Hanlons.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a timelessness about this story it's timely. This is the message that we need right now, because forgetting is death. Forgetting is the end.
disastrous.
It is. And we need to remember now in our real lives more than ever. We need to learn and be at one. This is deep.
Hear, hear.
How did a
agree.
Pennywise property get so deep? I'm so impressed. I mean, it's Andy and the writers and everybody. They've brought so much into this. Now, do they? Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just, why would Stephen King and the universe that he created, be so enduring and popular? Because it has a universal tone. It speaks to people in terms of their childhood, in terms of their adulthood, and things that they've forgotten and wish they could get back, things that scared them, things that fulfilled them. He weaves all of this wonderful stuff in his books with such innocence that it truly is extraordinary. And if you go back to The Shining, at the very end of The Shining, you know, little Danny's sitting with his mother on the end of a dock, and they're just sort of reflecting about everything. And was it real? Did it really happen?
Yeah, because man, the stuff,
it's amazing.
and it's like, I mean, I never thought in my lifetime I would feel that exact way in real life.
Right.
How
And
about
it's like, universal. Now, did they ever talk to you about, like, this is an Easter egg, or this is something that's going to tie to something else? Because I see ways that Rose could tie to a property like Dreamcatcher and things like that. Did people say that to you in the production?
Not overtly, but it was, I mean, keep in mind that as we're doing this, we're also fans. So we're geeking out along with everybody else. And so it reminds me, the first time I met Barbara and Andy, it immediately felt like, did you have a best friend that you played with when you were little?
Yes.
And they were like on point.
Yes.
Like in Adventureland, they were like, oh, let's do this. You're like, gosh, you're so smart. Yes, let's do that. And then vice versa. But what if we also did this? It's like, yes, you're so smart. That's what it felt like working with Barbara and Andy within the world of Stephen King, right? That's his sandbox that he's created for us. And so it was always this very visceral. There are Easter eggs everywhere. So I think, I'd be talking with the grip about something, or maybe Barbara and Andy and ask them a question. So it was always there, but more as a fan, I think, than anything.
It was. I don't think of things in terms of like, Easter egg, because if I start thinking about that, I'm going to get out of character.
Word.
Sure.
I'm going
Yeah.
to start projecting about stuff, and maybe I'm going to try to play towards that. You got to be in the moment.
Right.
But that being said, the first time I met Andy and Barbara, and they're telling me about this, because they were very, very measured in how much they let me know, because I didn't get the script, prior to my first interview. It was just an interview to see if they could stand me. Fortunately, we fell in love. And Andy said, well, Dick Halloran is in it. And I was like, I get it.
Right?
So
He
awesome.
probably saw it. I went, everything made sense. Dick Halloran, before he goes up to the Overlook, before he moves to Miami,
Yes.
and I'm like, wow, I got goosebumps.
I know, I do
I was
too.
so excited, and that was what he dropped in my lap, and I'm like, okay, I'm on board. And everything made sense, and I didn't know anything about it.
It's so awesome.
But like standing behind the counter where Stephen King was in Secondhand Rose in the movies. Like I had to have that moment. I did have to have a Kimberly moment. Then I'm back and it was just like, I am at the counter. It just felt very cool to be, a part of that thread.
I love that the two of you are together because you're part of really beloved other pieces that we love. So it's like, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, like, has anybody said, like, anything about more reservation dogs?
I mean, I think Sterling, just realized it was time to move on, and now he's got the lowdown, and it just felt, it was very, very special. We had been working toward that. I cannot tell you for how many years, generations, we've been working toward the moment when we could tell our own stories in our own way. He and Taika honestly believed it was like, we got one shot at this. We're going to get one season, and then they're going to rip us off because nobody's going to want to see these stories, our stories,
Not
the way we
true.
want to tell them.
Not when they're
and
good.
so it was a really, I think it did what it needed to do.
That's very poetic and beautiful, but please make a movie. Okay.
Yes.
And then, James, when they recognize you, what do they recognize you from the most?
Oh, it depends. If you're a 14 to 60-year-old male, it's the Warriors.
I was going to say.
If you're a 25 to 55-year-old woman, it's Sex and the City. And then if you're everybody else, it's Dexter. And then there's a few other things scattered in there. There's the comic book geeks that love Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Yes.
And then there's the heads that love Drugstore Cowboy. So, but that's the three big ones. Dexter, Sex and the City, and the Warriors are where people really fan out.
The two of you together is such a wonderful, magical recipe in this.
Well, thank you.
And thank you for that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We get along.
Love you guys.
Mostly children.
Something bad's coming.